and welcome to Inner Circle Guidance. Today we're going to be doing a collective reading, but for those of you who are new to the circle, hello and welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every single day. If you're looking for daily short tarot readings, check out my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts. If you're looking for personal services or personal readings, I offer them through my website, innercircleguidance.com. Let's find out what the circle needs to know today. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Devil, Page of Cups, Five of Wands, Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck here. All right, I'm picking up on a very, it's not opposite energy, but sort of a conflicted energy. So I'm going to take some more cards and just kind of get a clearer picture of what this is about. We have the Sun. We have the Seven of Swords, Three of Wands, the Chariot, Three of Swords, and then we have the Ten of Wands on the bottom of the deck. I'm gonna put that down there just so you all can see it easier. Okay. So this is what I'm picking up on, and this is why I think I was struggling a little bit here, because the Chariot, when it came out, really kind of solidified what I was picking up on here. With the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is nurturing. It's earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo type energy. It's somebody who is very giving, somebody who will even overgive at times, or will give in a way that the person who's receiving that giving may not even know. Like the Queen of Pentacles may give in the background without taking any credit or without people necessarily realizing it. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles, which is a similar energy, but is very much an independent energy. It's somebody standing in their sovereignty, somebody with very strong boundaries, somebody who's really working towards their goals independently. And what I'm seeing here is the Queen of Pentacles, to me, is always somebody who is a little bit leans towards overgiving. Now, that doesn't always mean that that's the case, but in this particular instance, I am picking up that that is what it is. Because we have the Devil on the table, we have the Five of Wands, and we have the Ten of Wands, and the Three of Swords here, as well as the Seven of Swords, which is all about imbalance of energies, disappointments, people taking advantage of situations. And so the Devil is also ruled by Capricorn. The Devil can be a very stubborn, hard-headed sort of energy of somebody who doesn't take no for an answer. And in certain situations, sometimes that can benefit. In others, you end up putting chains on yourself by refusing to see a different mindset. The thing is that Capricorns are very loving and very giving until you give them a reason not to trust you or a reason not to be. And then they can be extremely cold. And I actually argue that Capricorns, other than I would say Aquarius, sometimes I think can be this way as well. But Capricorns, if you tick off a Capricorn, they can ice you out like no other sign. It's like you don't even exist, much less anything else. Like they Capricorns can really just like turn the emotion off and draw that wall so fast and just be like, all right, bye. But with that being said, Capricorn also sometimes is hard-headed and doesn't realize that they're maybe going a little too far with certain things. And so what I'm getting here is that you need to be careful about the line between being kind and being nice. And this is why it was hard for me to completely distinguish in the very beginning what this reading was about, because those are such similar energies, but at the same time, they're so different. And the Chariot coming out to me really indicates that balance between the two energies. So some of you may categorize this a little differently, but to me, being kind is somebody who takes action to help other people. It is somebody who is nice, but also will draw the line and state what needs to be stated when the obvious needs to be said. Somebody who's nice is, I would say, could be either or both of these things, which is someone who's nice is somebody who always talks about helping other people or says nice things to other people, but doesn't necessarily always mean it or follow through. Somebody who is nice also tends to not have the correct boundaries and get taken advantage of, because being kind is more of a state of being and a mindset, where being nice is more about validation or the fear of disappointing another person or the fear of being judged or whatever. To me, that's the difference. You're in the process of moving forward here. And I'm seeing that you have some healing to do, because in the past, people have taken advantage of your kindness and taken advantage of your niceness. You need to make sure you're drawing that strong boundary between being kind and being nice, as in, and if you don't want to use those terms, then really you're drawing the boundary between still being kind and nice and sweet and loving and caring and nurturing, but drawing that hard line to where you're not allowing other people to take advantage of you. And so it's more about giving that energy to the correct people. I'm not saying that you need to be a mean, nasty person. That's not at all what I mean here. But for those of you who tend to overgive, this is a huge problem, and you need to realize the difference between these subtle energies, because these subtle energies are what's hanging you up. The big stuff, where it's very obvious to you that someone's trying to take advantage or someone's being nasty or whatever, isn't what hangs you up, isn't what gets you caught in that cycle. It's the subtle stuff. And so that's why I'm trying to get you guys with the kind and nice. Two very similar words. I would really even argue that they're kind of synonyms. However, they have a different connotation to them. Find that connotation between the different energies. Suss out those subtleties between people, between energies, between situations. That's what's going to help you move forward. And that also means that you have to move sometimes at a little bit of a slower pace. And you have to look at things from a bigger perspective. I'm seeing too that in the past, some of this energy of people taking advantage of you kind of took you by surprise and threw you into chaos because you weren't exactly sure how to handle it. And so what happened is you ended up getting disappointed and frustrated, not only with that person, but with yourself. And then in the past, I'm seeing that maybe you had some trouble with your self-worth and things like that. And so you kept overgiving to these people because you cared about the way that they viewed you and perceived you. And that almost became more important in a sense, maybe not intentionally, but subconsciously, than your well-being did. Here's the thing about people that take advantage. Most of the time, it's intentional. The majority of the time it is. Also, people who take advantage will often try to manipulate you emotionally or manipulate you into, honestly, it's sort of an abusive sort of situation. And obviously there's different tiers of that. But when you are dealing with somebody like that, they are essentially trying to get you to fear the way that they may react to you. They're getting you to ignore your intuition and to disregard your, what's the word I'm looking for? Your instincts. And they're trying to get you caught sort of in that cycle of needing their validation so that you keep giving to them because they're feeding off of your validation and like the giving that you're giving them. But what happens is that you end up taking on burdens that are not yours. And you end up taking on burdens that are unrealistic. Because when you're dealing with abusive people, you're dealing with people who are trying to take advantage of you, they're feeding you viewpoints and they're essentially grooming you into thinking that certain things are normal when they're not. And so what happens is your overgiving nature goes almost like into overdrive. And you end up just taking on all their burdens, all their problems, thinking everything's your fault instead of thinking clearly. And that is the main thing that's hung you up in the past. It's these subtle energies that slip under your radar and get up under your skin and get you thinking differently because they have too much influence in the first place. So when you start feeling chaos or you start feeling like you're not sure about someone or a situation, take a step back and look at it from a bigger perspective. Try to use that earth energy. The thing about earth signs is that they can often separate their emotions from a situation. Now, in a negative extreme, and the negative side of that is that they can turn their emotions off, which causes them problems. You don't want to turn them off. That's not what I'm saying. But in their positive connotation, when they turn those emotions and they separate them from trying to make decisions, they're able to look at things unbiased so that they can actually see the facts and they can see things from, I guess, like the overall scheme of things versus allowing their emotion of wanting to give or caring about the person or whatever it is to get in the way of what they should do in the situation. You're being asked to learn from the earth signs, or maybe you even are an earth sign and you're being asked to lean more into the positive polarity of that and start balancing your energies so that you're not overgiving to situations and you're not getting stuck in that mindset of overgiving to situations in ways that you're not even necessarily realizing, or people who seem very innocent and everything up front, and then they end up surprising you on the back end, and then you kind of not knowing what to deal with it. You've been through it now, you've grown, you've learned. Take those lessons, slow down, try to rebalance your energy and look at it from that wider perspective, and then take action. Because people who want to take advantage of you are going to always pressure you just to make the decision faster because it benefits them if you don't think about it first. Don't go on autopilot. Make sure that you're aware. And so your affirmation for this reading is, I am clearly picking up on the subtle energy differences between people and situations and decisions where it comes to giving and overgiving. And that should help you be able to suss some of these situations out and sniff them out ahead of time and then nip them in the bud. So if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like this video. And as always, may your life be full of light, full of love, abundance, and gratitude. I'll see you next time.